Hello from Myrtle Beach. Today we are going to share with you everything you need to know about coming to Myrtle Beach in March. We're going to talk about what it's like in March and share our tips both about the weather, about events, about what it's like here, how crowded it is here, what's open, all those kind of things. And because spring break is this year in March, we're going to talk about that as well. Hi, I'm Carmen. If you're new here, we cover everything Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area. And if you're a return, you're welcome back. We are so glad to have you with us. We are here on the Myrtle Beach Boardwalk for our backdrop. We are also going to walk down on the beach as well. We've gotten feedback that you're enjoying these monthly beach walks. We also got some feedback that you would prefer to have these the month before so that you know what's coming and you can plan your trips. We've heard you loud and clear, but the time you made that suggestion is so close to March that this is going to barely squeak out before March, but we will start trying to do these earlier in the month before the month is about to happen. So let's talk about March. Let's start with the weather. It is really up and down all over the place in March. It can be chilly, it can be warm, all different types of weather in March. What I can say for packing is pack all kinds of stuff. Now in March, you're typically not going to have horrible cold, once in a while in both December, late December, January, sometimes February, but less in February, we get like a really sharp cold snap where it gets down in the 20s. That will probably not happen in March. It'd be incredibly unusual. Usually our last frost risk ends with February. So in March, you're going to expect moderate temperatures. There's that nice Myrtle Beach sign. And so I would pack shorts, t-shirts or short sleeve shirts. I would pack pants and I would pack a lightweight jacket probably. And you might want one heavier jacket. I wouldn't say full on winter coat, but like a heavier jacket and also some long sleeve shirts or pullover sweatshirts, that kind of thing. Depends on what you like to wear. But just basically pack layers. It's the same thing I say for all the shoulder months. You never know what the weather's gonna be like. Also check the weather apps. Like AccuWeather or weather.com, the general weather apps. And you can also look at WNBF. They have a weather app, and that is a local weather station. So sometimes their weather is a little more accurate than the national weather. And that'll give you an idea. You can check right before you come and see what the weather is going to be like. Also, let's talk about what to do here in March. We have all kinds of things to do here in March. There's the Skywheel. The Skywheel's open year round, but by March, most things are open. Most restaurants are back to normal. That close, there's a few that close January, February, not everything, just a few, usually local restaurants. The chains stay open. Also, let's head down to the beach here. It's so beautiful today. Check out the beach. A lot of pigeons on the beach today. Also, the majority of entertainment, there's tons of shows in March. Almost everything is opening back up. I cannot guarantee you that all of the rides will be back open in March, such as Family Kingdom. You need to check their website for details, but just about everything else is open. So you don't have to worry about things being closed. Most things go back to normal hours instead of having abbreviated hours. So this is when things really start to get back to quote normal. They aren't that different in the off season than the regular season. We don't have much of an off season anymore. It has been incredibly busy in February. I expect March to be even busier. So that's the next big thing I want to talk about with crowds. This year, Easter is in March. It's in late March. And Easter is, if you're not familiar, for America, that's when the grade schools, so I'm talking like kindergarten through 12, have their spring breaks. March is also when normally the US, well, look at all these shells. When the colleges here, there's a pretty one right there. That one's nice. When the colleges have their spring breaks as well. Now that varies, but a lot have their spring breaks in March. However, we are not a big destination for college students for spring break. You will have some local college students in the universities that are nearby come here for spring break, but we are not like Daytona Beach where there's just tons and tons of college students for spring break. Go around the shell so I don't crush them for people who want to look at them. But For the grade schools, since Easter, usually the week before and the week after Easter is most grade school spring break in the United States. We will have a lot of families the week before and the week after Easter. I expect it to be less this year since Easter is so early because people know it can be chilly here. The people in front of us are a perfect example. They've got shorts on, they've got jackets. So we're in late February right now. That's going to be a good indication of March. We've had days in the 70s in February, so it's not super cold here. Like I said, it's that in-between weather, but I just want to point that out because their outfits are pretty indicative of what you might also have on in March. So yeah, keep in mind this year we've got spring break crowds. That's not something you normally see in March because Easter usually falls in April. And so usually that's an April thing. But like I said, I don't expect it to be as crowded as when spring break falls in April, but we'll see. Time will tell. We'll see how it goes. And then otherwise, crowds do pick up. There are a lot of events in March that bring people to the area as well. We'll go through a list of those events in case you are planning to come, so you will know in case you want to either participate in the events or avoid the events depending on your preference. So let me pull them up here. First of all is the Myrtle Beach Marathon. The Myrtle Beach Marathon is March 2nd. The reason that's important for you to know, even if you're not a runner, is they close a lot of the roads during the marathon. So it can make it a little more challenging to get around. So keep that in mind if you're here on March 2nd. Also, the Surfside Beach, which is a beach just south of Myrtle Beach, is really close. They have their barbecue festival on March 9th. Can-Am Days, and that stands for Canadian American. Can-Am Days are March 9th through the 17th. That is to celebrate our friends from Canada who visit here this time of the year. A lot of people from Canada spend the winter here or spend a month here. And so they have a bunch of events and festivals is probably a strong word, but a bunch of events, discounts, and other things for Canadians, March 9th through the 17th. There's also the Run to the Sun car show, March 14th through 16th at the Myrtle Square Mall. Also, St. Patrick's Day Parade and Festival on Main Street in North Myrtle Beach is on March 16th. That is a pretty big event. It's pretty cool. We have been. It's neat. We definitely recommend you checking that out. Even if you're staying in Myrtle, it might be worth the drive to North Myrtle Beach because it's not that far. Also, Myrtle Beach St. Patrick's Day Bar Crawl is at it starts at Sharky's Oceanfront Restaurant, right? It's just to the south of where we're at right now. That is on March 17th on St. Patrick's Day. And then the Huntington Beach State Park Kite Festival is March 23rd and 24th. So as you can see, in addition to having Easter in March this year and a lot of spring breakers, we've also got a lot of festivals and a lot of things going on in the area. Are any of those things of interest to you? Let us know in the comments below, and let us know if you plan to visit in March also. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. That really helps us because it helps other people find our video. Check out this beautiful view of the ocean. And if you'd like to learn more about Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area, definitely click that subscribe button. That way you won't miss anything. So a little bit about where we're at right now. This is Pier 14. There is a restaurant up here. Obviously, it's also a pier. The boardwalk is still right there. There's riptides. The boardwalk runs all along here. And so there's the pier. Most of the piers here do charge a fee to walk out on. Some don't. It depends on the pier. And I can't tell you which is which because it varies a lot. I know the Garden City Pier is free. I know the Myrtle Beach State Park Pier is free, but you have to pay to get into the park. Most of the other piers do charge a fee to walk out on. Also, you can fish on the piers, obviously, and there's a fee for that. What's nice about fishing off the piers, though, is you do not need a Myrtle Beach fishing license to do that. So that's a plus of fishing off the piers. But yeah, you get that cool view down under the pier. And Brian's next to me, so he's doing some ducking because I barely fit under here. It's a little short. But also, as far as whether we would recommend coming in March, it really depends on your cold tolerance. So in March, like I said, you're gonna have chilly days. Like right now, I've got long pants and a jacket on. Again, end of February, but in 2 days, we're gonna have highs in the 70s, so I'll have shorts on. It's just gonna be all over the place weather-wise. My personal opinion, even though I don't think it will be as crowded this year, and spring break crowds are nothing like summer crowds. For Memorial Day through Labor Day is when the biggest crowds are, and the biggest crowds are really Memorial Day and 4th of July. That's really the peak times. So you can keep that in mind for crowds. But my personal preference, if I was going to visit in March, and you know, if you have kids and you have to come spring break, I totally get that. But if you don't have kids or your kids are older and you have some flexibility, I would avoid the week before and after Easter. That would just be my personal advice. It's not going to be horrible crowds, but you know, it's going to be more crowded and probably more expensive. The hotels rates vary depending on how busy it is and you know how many people. It's a supply and demand thing. And that's another thing to bring up is rates. We are out of that time of the year now when the rates are super low. Especially with spring break coming up, the rates are going to go up. So the early part of March might be less expensive, but we're past that time of the really, really deep discounts that you can get December through February. If you'd like to learn more about Myrtle Beach, be sure to click on the video that's on your screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.